We will be live in just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Just send in the chats, say whatever the fuck you want in the comments, as long as it doesn't, break terms of service on YouTube. You know how it be. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the switch. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Now, to start this off, I'm gonna go ahead and read this story here. This is one of my personal favorite RPG stories that I've ever seen. Posted by Michelle80 on r/allthingsdnd. The story is titled, How I Used Roleplay to Stop a New Player from Becoming a Murder Hobo. Let's get started, shall we? Taste of my drink. This is a long one, folks. Tasty. This story happened a few years ago on weeknights at my local game store. As it was league play, we had many people come and go from the table, but there were 4 people who every week showed, excluding the GM. Tom, a mighty dwarven paladin who, though far from his people, held their honor with every step and protected the party to his last breath. Did somebody say dwarf? Bree, his IRL girlfriend, a quiet elven ranger with a panther companion named Guinevere. Lastly was Larry, a halfling who could bend reality to his whim, and had the blood of one of the most powerful magical families running through his veins. Oh shit! I just saw a message. Oh, happy birthday, Soultail! If you're watching this, happy birthday! Hope you have a good one, man. Sorry about that. Just wanted to wish a friend a happy birthday. Hope you're watching this, Soultail. I played a character concept I had in mind for a while. More on her later. I had arrived early, and with the aid of the GM, was making my character. While Tom and Bree had never played D&D before, they had watched every episode of Critical Role. Oh no, not Critical Role. Ugh. Oh no, bro. For legal reasons, that was a joke. I don't care if you like Critical Role. Anyway. And they were excited to play. Larry had played before, and he let us know it. I am, and was at the time, no stranger to gaming, having played for years. Larry had played 5e twice, thus making him an expert in all things 5e. I shouldn't have to say why that's bullshit. If you guys aren't as annoyed at Larry as I am at the end of this, then I don't know what to tell you. Because he gets annoying really fast. Fuck Larry. We all hate Larry. This was my first time playing 5e, and truthfully, I didn't care. It's a game, not a competition, right? That was until he double-checked my character sheet. You know, to make sure I was filling my sheet out right. As soon as he saw my class, he scoffed so loud that everyone in the basement of the gaming store looked over at our table. You're playing. Ugh, I got a good voice for this. Okay. You're playing a monk. Yeah? Monk isn't a real class. D&D is a fantasy game. What does K have to do with dragons? Oh, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. It has a lot to do with dragons. Just ask Dan the Drake. As he said when he read the story, when he showed your girlfriend his katana collection, he's actually using the power of ki to turn your girlfriend into his girlfriend. The more you know. We love you, Dan the Drake. Haven't you ever heard of Journey to the West or the Monkey King? Those don't count. They're not Western. It's not real fantasy unless it has dragons. This dumbass doesn't know that Asia has dragons too. They just look a little different, that's all. Tell that to BioWare or Kurosawa. The GM finally looked up from helping the others across the table. Monk is a basic class. OP can play it. Yes, I'm making him sound like Squidward. They're only a class because Gygax thought Bruce Lee movies were cool. I'm sorry, I can't do that voice anymore. That's hurting. It's too early for this. Remind me to not do that again. He complained. And they're not? I shot back with a smile. I mean, yeah, Bruce Lee movies are cool. Larry just sighed. Continue to look over my character sheet. Yeah, you're a half-elf? That's like the worst race for a monk. I wanted the charisma bonus. Charisma? You're a monk. They need dex of wisdom. If you're gonna be a monk, you can at least be a good one. Look at this. Your background is entertainer. A good monk should be a sage or a hermit. I just want to put up the mocking chicken SpongeBob meme for that. I'm just saying. In fact, I may as well show the shit. This got the GM's attention. He looked over at my character sheet as I explained. Me, the character's name, was raised in a circus. That's why our skills are performance, sense motive, bluff, persuasion. All skills entertainers need to be effective in their trade. If you were in a circus, how'd you learn to be a monk? Larry shot back. Trapeze, tumbling, knife throwing, even clowning. There's a lot of opportunity to work on perfection of body as a physical performer. Then there's things like what the hell was that? Why is it that every time lately when I try to stream my internet just cuts off? That is dumb. Well, I'm gonna try to continue it. Let's hope to God it works properly. I have shitternet, sorry fellas. Now, where was I before my internet fucked up? Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about how a circus monk is a really cool character concept. And I genuinely think it is. It's a really cool concept. I'm just saying. Alright, let me reread this right here in case y'all missed it. Trapeze, tumbling, knife throwing, even clowning. There's a lot of opportunities to work on perfection of body as a physical performer. There's things like panhandling while the crowd is waiting to go in, you know. Things like calligraphy, painting, other stuff that bring the body and soul together. Besides, Way of the Four Elements monk? Imagine doing trapeze while shooting fireballs, that would be awesome. Larry's eyes lit up when hearing panhandling. What I meant was entertaining people waiting to enter into my circus in exchange for some coin thrown in a hat. Larry heard something else. If you're gonna be a thief, why not play a rogue? Smuggling looking as if he wants some great battle over my character's glass. He munched a Cheeto in celebration. Oh. Tasty. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Checking to see if the footage is keeping up with everything else. Okay, we're good. We're good. The footage is being okay. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make sure the footage was working just right. Back to it. Okay, back to reading the story now. I would never demean my tribe like that. I answered him so coldly, icily, that caused him to stop his celebration mid-crunch. My skills, my family's techniques, they are meant to entertain, to bring joy, to a moment's respite from the reality of life. A moment of strength and laughter to those who have given up on it. We tell the stories of those long forgotten and sing songs of places that have never been. I'm a gypsy, a troubadour, not a thief, not a rogue, not a simple backstabber or muscle in a fight, or a diplomat, or a historian, a reason to smile in the rain. That's why I won't use my swords to kill. Parentheses, I'm going to be honest, I don't remember if these were the exact words I said, I doubt it, but it was close. I also know that rogues are more than that, but it was pretty obvious that's all they were to Larry. Good old Larry, am I right, folks? Fucking Larry. Again, we don't like Larry in this house. What? Asked Tom. These swords are family heirlooms. They're all meant to be a part of a dance celebrating life. We perform it when someone is born, or a wedding, even a funeral. To use them to kill, that is the greatest perversion I can think of. I'll knock someone or something out, but I will never use them to kill. Bree gave a smile and said that's cool. Larry wasn't as happy. He picked up my sheet, looked over it, and then threw it at me, leaving a nice Cheeto fingerprint on the top of the page. Ew. Fucking gross, dude. Like, what the fuck? You're gonna die. You're not gonna laugh. I guess Larry and I got off on the wrong foot. I know this was a long intro, but hopefully interesting. I called Tom and Bree about some of the actual wording. Now onto the game itself. I won't go through a full list of Larry's particular playstyle, as it was over the course of a few months, but I will give some of the highlights. During the first session, when he was asked to describe himself, he was wearing a dark cloak over dark clothes, sitting in the corner of the tavern, only his eyes visible from behind his dark mask, carefully studying everyone in the room, figuring out the best ways to kill everyone. Well, better pull out your emo music CDs and your Shadow the Hedgehog fanfiction. We got an edgelord on our hands. Like, that was so edgy that I'm physically in pain. So edgy. God. He wouldn't even name his character because you would call me by the screen's white enemies when I burn them alive. God, extra edgy. Every time we went shopping, he would sneak away and look for the most expensive and valuable thing I can find and slip it into my cloak. He actually tried to kill a quest giver because he probably has the money on him. We can just kill him and take the gold without doing the quest. What does it matter anyway? He's just an NPC. Jesus Christ. At every town, he would look for a fighting pit or a mage to duel. When we faced a puzzle, his first action would be to hit it with a fire spell. When that didn't work, he would give up and say, obviously this is a waste of time. It doesn't have an answer. The GM is just trying to trick us. Whatever helps you sleep at night, honey. It wasn't just NPCs that felt his edge. He also made his displeasure toward my character felt. The first night we were together, I mentioned that I had 2 tents. I'm not going to share a tent with me. Larry said loud enough that the table next to ours looked over. I bet you they were like, yo, what the fuck is this man on about? Ew, why would I want to? You boys can have your own smelly tent. Bree and I can share if she wants. That night, I passed a note to the GM that caused dice to be rolled, and a few more notes. When Larry saw this, he exploded. His character grabbed my bag and started to pour everything on the ground. What are you doing? I saw those notes. You stole something from Bree. No, I didn't. Sure you didn't. That's what we get for having a gypsy. All gypsies are thieves. Oh, okay, you fucking racist. Jesus, fuck. Like, this man once again is a winner all around, isn't he? Oh boy. Where was I? There it is. After a few seconds of looking, and it became apparent that me hadn't taken anything, he then said, "You planted it on her." She looked through her bag, and sure enough I had planted something on her. Those notes and rolls had been for the quality of a charcoal drawing me had done of her the day before while writing, and slipping it into her bag while she was asleep. She thought it would make a nice surprise after a hard day of travel. That's adorable. Me is too good for this world. We will protect me at all costs. She's adorable. Larry got mad and broke me's art supplies, saying, "That's just a waste of time." I asked her later, and Bree did say she liked it. Later, on another night, when it was me's turn to take watch, he woke her by pouring water on her. He once went so far as to, in combat, not use any of his spells. Instead, he ran up to an opponent whose armor made him resistant to bludgeoning. Blah! I can't talk today. Ugh. Too early for this. He said, "If me doesn't use her swords and kill him, I'm gonna die." Yep, I'm just saying, guys, if I was at that table, I just would have been all like, I don't see how that's my problem. Like, I would not see anything wrong with that. Like, alright then, bozo, bye-bye. Nice knowing you. Thankfully, Bree was there to kill the enemy with an arrow before me had to choose. The worst event I can remember was when, in one of the first sessions, the party had gone to a fair, and there were some chickens running around. Tom blessed one, making it shiny. Me instantly fell in love and caught it. Aww. She named it Cluckers, and it became her best friend. Think Mabel and Waddles from Gravity Falls. That's so adorable. Aw, so cute. One night, Larry killed and ate Cluckers. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. In front of me. When I complained, I let him know that he was crossing a line. All I said was, "Me won't do anything, she's too much of a pussy." I would have smacked him IRL. No one fucks with my man Cluckers like that. Like, don't do my man Cluckers like that, he ain't do nothing. Free my boy Cluckers ASAP. Hashtag justice for Cluckers. Yeah, I said it. Oh yeah, but anyway, I've actually met the OP behind this story. Someone drew her this adorable little fan art of her character in Cluckers. Look at that. Look how adorable that is. Look at Cluckers. He's so derpy. I love him. It is so cute. It was very cute. Anyway. I began to notice that this was rubbing off on Tom. Oh no. At first he loved to roleplay, but as time went on he became less and less involved. Bree and I would go shopping, and Leia would say, "I only take the things from those I kill." Again, so fucking edgy that I am physically in pain. Sorry, I'm a little sick, y'all. Suddenly, Tom refused to go shopping too. When Bree bought a treat for her animal companion, he berated her. "What'd you do that for? It's only an animal companion." Bree and I went to the temple of his god to pray, asking if he wanted to join. He refused and said, "I think I'm going to look for the fighter's pit." Larry was proud and clapped him on his back. I agree with Drake when he said that this is just Anakin and Palpatine vibes. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable to say the least. I wouldn't be surprised if Larry tried to molest Tom at one point. Larry began making comments to Tom outside of the game. At first, Tom and me had a bit of a strained relationship. Me was flighty, not idiotic. I don't know what that sound was. Well, the stream's still going, so it should be okay. Okay, yeah, stream's still going. I really need to get some work done on this computer. Jesus Christ. Despite me looking up to him as a big brother little sister relationship, he tolerated her. I It didn't take much for Larry to have an effect. I came in one day and heard Larry telling Tom, "Your paladin is getting powerful. It's too bad you have to babysit me every fight." Keep in mind, I'm still a level 5 monk at this point. Put myself on the front lines of every fight. It was just instead of killing enemies, I knocked them out. Tom started complaining that me was weak, and how he always had to protect her, and so how he wasn't getting all the kills he should have. I wasn't just in a group with one murder hobo / edgelord, I was watching the birth of another. The worst part was there was nothing I could do but wait. Thankfully, I didn't need to wait too long. I'm surprised the GM never stepped in and asked Larry to chill. I would've. We were on our way to Tom's home city for some R&R. His sister was getting married, and to me, that would mean one thing. Party! I'm sorry. Something I haven't mentioned was that Tom was deep into his character's family. He had a notebook from the first session detailing every member of his character's family, both close and extended. Along the way, Tom broke out that notebook and began to regale us with the stories of his cousins and brothers. He told us how he couldn't wait to see his cousins or great uncle on his father's side twice removed again. The excitement in his eyes reminded me of his first few sessions. At least until Larry started wondering how much XP his grandfather cleric was worth. Fuck you, Larry. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. We all hate Larry in this house. Fuck you, Larry. You piece of shit. If you're watching this, fuck off. I remember seeing Tom deflate, and neither Bree or I could help him find that excitement again. Aww. We arrived at the hall and found it had been attacked. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, Rick. Many members of Tom's family had been slain, more taken prisoner. Those who remained told us of how men wearing cloaks and armors of purple, each emblazoned with a holy symbol of fire, attacked the hall. Basically everything was fine for these dwarves till the Fire Nation attacked. No, I'm just kidding. How their magics had destroyed the defenses, how sharp their swords were. Even the temple that Tom had grown up in had listened to his grandfather's teachings, had heard his calling and became a paladin in. I don't know why he keeps making that sound. The stream didn't disconnect yet, so what the heck was that? Whatever. We're 30 minutes in, not even done with this one. This is gonna be a long stream, y'all. Where's their gold? Larry asked. Wow, lack of tact. What a surprise. Where's their what? The GM replied. Well, if all the guards are killed or taken prisoners, we can just grab their gold and no one will stop us. Okay then. I just shook my head as everyone started looking at Larry, surprised. With how he had been acting all adventure, I wasn't shocked, but somehow they were. Yeah, for real, is that really where they're gonna draw the line? Despite everything else he did. There is no... sorry, this is GM's line, my bad. There is no gold. It's been taken, the GM let him know. Well, I guess we need to find them so we can get it. And what are we going to do when we find them? I asked him. Attack them, obviously. He said it like it should have been obvious to anyone. In fairness, that's what I expected him to say. Good idea. Attack what we have been told are hundreds of powerful enemies in an entrenched position. Let's see how that goes for you. So what do we do then? Tom asked, his first words since we got there. Send me in. Oh god. Oh y'all. I'm excited for this moment. This is a meme-worthy moment. Oh yes. What are you going to do? Sing for them? Larry asked. Yes. Yep. It really did go like that. It was literally just the soy jack and Chad. It was literally this. I made this meme just because of that part. Larry, what are you gonna do? Sing for them? Me. Yes. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. He scoffed. Sure, why not? You've been useless this entire time. Why start being helpful now? I ignored him and focused on Tom. This was his family after all, and he should have final say. Do you have any of your family's allies and friends in your journal? Yes, he started. Go get them, and I'll be back. Go get them and be back in 3 days. I'm totally professional. I'll go in, saying I am an entertainer, and I'm here to entertain the soldiers. Go inside, I'll get information. Find out where they're located, how many there are, and where your family is being held, and come back with that knowledge. Meet me here, pointing to a place nearby. Tom let us say, I guess I'll go with you. Someone needs to keep the kid safe. He actually called me a kid. Aww. And I'll start meeting with your family's allies, Bree offered. What will you do? Squidward, I mean, the GM, asked Larry. I'll hit the fire pits. They've been destroyed. The city was just attacked, the GM replied. I admit I snickered a little bit. Rather than do anything helpful, such as rebuilding or going with Bree, he decided, I'll be sitting in a corner, judging how best to kill anyone I see. In other words, he's completely fucking useless! We moved on without him. Tom and I went on the hunt for any patrols, and within a few hours, we had found one. 2 men on horses, heavy purple armor and great swords, flaming marks on their armors and cloaks. Halt! Who goes there? Tom started to prepare his weapon when I stopped him. I got this. Turned to the GM. I put my hands up in pose. I am Lady Michelle of Perswin, and this is my traveling companion, Tom. I believe you, my strong, handsome soldiers, have caught us. I informed the soldiers that I am a traveling entertainer, and have heard tale of a great and powerful army in the area, and I've decided to give them a free show. Like they're gonna fall for that. You're a monk. What are you gonna do, punch them? Larry sneered. No. I'll sing and dance and do some tumbling. I have the entertainer background, remember? We were level 5 or 6 at this point, so it had been a while since that first session. In his defense, he may have genuinely forgotten that. Shit, bro, I get it. That's a possibility. To the GM, these are men who have presumably been away from their homes for a while. Judging by how this is the first time we've heard of the light, meaning there's a good chance that they come from a distant land. Also, they've just been through a battle, which even victorious is a dramatic event. They could probably use some actual entertainment for their morale, just like a USO show. That's bullshit! Now, I had known that the GM was a therapist, so he had studied psychology. What I didn't know was that he was also a former Marine, who had served in the first days of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. After a moment's thought, he said, I could see them doing it, provided you can give them a good enough of a show. They ask to see what you can do. Roll me a perform check. I love that the Squidward voice was given to the hardened and military veteran who just happens to be a therapist. SpongeBob, we were just kids and they sent us to war. I'm sorry. I had to do it. One roll later, Tom and I were brought back to their camp, as prisoners, but rather guests. unarmed and under constant watch, but guests all the same. The GM offered Howell. I'm sorry. Ugh, God, it's with me today. The GM described how over the next 3 days we were given the VIP treatment. Nice accommodations, good food, even fresh costumes and makeup and jewelry, which I later checked and found out a lot of it was taken from Tom's family. That which wasn't. I did my best to find the owners and return everything afterwards. And everything else that comes with it. I was doing 2 shows a day, each getting more and more of an audience and a larger venue to play in. At first a shack, but by the end a mess hall. A few of the soldiers even asked me to pose for paintings, which I happily signed for them after. I won't lie, I was enjoying the attention both as player and character. This was what I built me for, after all, and I was actually able to play her doing it. Which, yeah, I would have loved to be there to see all this. Like, seriously, if I was involved in that game, I would have been all over this. I'm not very good at D&D, but still, I would have loved to be a part of this. Great, you're in there. Now what? It's not like you're going to be able to just walk around. This has been a waste of time. We should have just killed the dwarves while they were weak, taken their money, and moved on. You're right. They won't just let us walk around, nodding over to Tom. Pardon. But I'm sure Pete and Sean, 2 random names for soldiers that were guarding us, would be proud to show off a beautiful half-elf on their arm. Ooh my. Ooh my. And Tom, you're a fighter type. Why not ask to spar with them? Get a feel for what kind of training they have and what weapons they use. Pete and Sean were proud to show me off to everyone they could. And Tom got a great workout with the Soldiers of the Light. Even if he did have to be asked not to be too rough with them on a few occasions. My escorts and his sparring partners were more than happy to answer any question they could. I learned about the layout of the camp, about their history, what the light was, their customs, and all that good stuff. Tom learned about their martial traditions, how they trained, some of their feats of skill, and as a dwarf, he was interested about the metal, all their weapons and armor. He is a dwarf and he's digging a hole. This is when we broke for the week. Larry just packed up and left, while Tom, Bree, and I stayed after and started making plans. Bree getting notes on those she's been able to meet so far, their names, how many soldiers they could muster. Tom opening his book for the first time in weeks, asking about this person or that. He told her a few things that she might want to keep in mind when talking with the leaders. And a few stories that she could share to prove she was representing his clan and to get their trust better. It was good to see Tom being his old self. It was like the first sessions with them again, only with Bree being more out of her shell and doing something important purely on her shoulders. Girl. Ooh, pardon, y'all. In between sessions, the GM and I messaged on Facebook. I got some information about their homeland during the game time. All he had really been able to say was something along the lines of, "You'll get some information," just due to time constraints. I get it. I used this info to write some songs. I came in next week with them printed out and ready. When the session started, I was brought before a cleric and asked if I would swear myself to following the light. I think about it and went over what it was again. The light was about purity. Purity of self, body, and mind. To spread that purity to others. I thought about it and realized that this didn't interfere with my monk vows. What's more, purity wasn't defined. I could make it anything I wanted. Me's goal was to spread happiness in the darkest of places. The GM warned me that there would be consequences if me said yes and didn't fully mean it. Larry leaned forward with his eyes shining.
Goodbye, me.
What do you mean?
If you don't, you're going to be exposed. If you do, you're going to be smited. Either way, me is dead and Tom with her.
I can see Tom starting to get worried. Nope, I'm a monk. Purity of body, soul, and mind is kind of a big deal to us. Plus, they don't define how to spread purity. I choose to do so with music and song, inspiring others to action. My class, background, and goal all let me make this pledge wholeheartedly. There was some laughter from everyone but Larry. But when it died down, Tom realized something. I'm a paladin. My purity is my faith. I'll take this vow too. With me reaffirming her class and ideal and Tom's faith, the GM gave us both milestone levels. Larry choked on his Cheetos. That's funny.
I want a level 2. That's not fair.
Well, you could have joined us, Tom replied.
But I wanted to join the fighting pits.
And you knew there were none, Tom answered again. Tom is a fucking Giga Chad for this. We love you, Tom. After that, we were brought into the main courtyard where a stage had been erected. Stop it! Most of the soldiers were there, and the commander and his generals were in the front. They had heard about the shows and wanted to see it himself. I'm sorry. They had heard about the show and wanted to see it himself. It was with me. That was why we had been able to swear this oath, been made to swear this oath to the light. For the last show, I did my normal thing of telling the GM what I was doing, and just rolling my performance for each act. But I also did something special. No guys, it's not Tiny Bus special. I actually sang the song that I had written over the last week, like legit IRL singing at the table. Which, fun fact you guys, is the person behind the story is a trained opera singer. So that's pretty damn cool, I gotta say. The Virgin Larry versus the Chad me. The commanding officer led a standing ovation and was so impressed by everything he had heard about us that he invited us to join him and his generals. Tom had taken the time to ingratiate himself amongst his men and learn how to fight like a warrior of the light should. I had entertained his men. Oh, the stream went disconnected for a split second. Alright, we're good, y'all. We're back. It disconnected for a very split second, but we're okay. We're good, y'all. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Right here. The commanding officer led a standing ovation and was so impressed by everything he had heard about us that he invited us to join him and his generals. Tom had taken time to ingratiate himself amongst his men and learn how to fight like a warrior of the light should. I had entertained his men and had written a new song about his people and their quests. Despite being foreigners, we had both taken the time to learn about his people and their customs. I had even taken the vows to serve the light. He was so impressed by us that he sat Tom down on his right and me at his left. After the great feast, where we got to know him and his generals, me asked him if he would escort me around the camp. It was then that I finally got what I was after. He showed me where the prisoners were kept, and even letting her see them. He also told her why they had taken them. On the next full moon, they were to be sacrificed to the light. Though they were heathens, they would find redemption in the full light of the moon, and thus be allowed to become one with it. Oh geez, Rick. That night, me used the drawing skills that Larry had decried as useless and drew out a detailed map of the camp. Tom and I working together to label guard positions, weapon caches, labeling every building, and then I gave the map to Tom for safekeeping. When we left the next morning, we were told we were going to be given 2 guards to protect us in these wildlands. The GM let us know that because I had actually written and sang a song, one of the volunteers was the son of the commander's right-hand general. We were also given horses, fresh food, and told we were always welcome back and invited to travel with them to their homeland. It took about a day-and-a-half travel before we arrived at the meeting point. Bree was already there with several representatives from the clan's allies. After a short fight, both of our guards were killed. Tom cut off both their heads.
Well, you got useless information, but you don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, we do, Bree said.
Oh yeah, what did me say? Hundreds of well-armed soldiers in an entrenched position? Still true. We should just attack it.
What if they weren't in their camp? I asked.
How are you going to do that? Sing to them again?
No, but they trust me. Bree, mark on the map where you think the best spot for you to fight them is. Mark where the forces you brought will be. Wait, hey, what? Bree's confused. Mark where you will place the army, and for the light's sake, put some cuffs on Tom. Cuff me? If I'm placed under a truth spell, I need to say you were taken prisoner. Bree having marked the map, I tore that piece off and had someone tie the heads to my horse. Okay, now what? Asked Bree. Line up. Yeah, think about it. We were ambushed. Tom was taken prisoner. The heads of their soldiers tied to my horse. Do you think they would just let me walk away? I need to be hurt. And it can't be fake. None of this can be fake. Tom needs to actually be taken prisoner, and I need to see it. This is a religious order. There are paladins there, clerics, people who can make me tell the truth. So I need to actually run the gauntlet, and don't hold back. This could kill you, Tom said, catching on. The GM let him know his character was being put in shackles and let off. I know. And what about the map? And the army? Asked Bree. I can't hear about it. I can't hear about any preparations you make. To what you mark to prepare for a battle. If I did, I may be compelled to tell them. But I nearly died to get them the map of your movements and where you will be camped. Now line up. I need to run the gauntlet. Bree, finally beginning to understand, took her position at the front line. Oh boy! Oh boy! The GM described how everyone lined up. My character's friends, counting the players who had joined but weren't essential to the story, again this was still weeknight, began to beat me. They cursed her, spit on her. The GM made them roll wisdom saves to not hold back, and had them describe what they did to her. There were a few misty eyes as people were forced to say and imagine how they tried to break her. This girl, who a few sessions previously would juggle and sing, would give them paintings and leave surprise treats in their bags. Or took over for them to take watch. How when she was on the ground, they kicked her, describing the breaking of her ribs, crunch of her fingers. And I did my best to react as she did in character. With only a few HP left, me was barely able to get at her broken body onto her blood-smeared horse. I'm surprised the horse didn't freak the fuck out. The world pulsing and blind in one eye. Tom whispered to Bree and she nodded. When me is a distance away, I take out my bow and aim carefully before shooting her, aiming for her shoulder. The GM nodded before looking surprised. Okay, roll the attack. Bree rolled a hit and then explained to me, you need some damage that you didn't expect. I didn't pay much attention to the rest of the session. They made plans for the battle. Started to do things like set traps, locations to follow enemies into kill zones, magical defenses, things like that. The druid worked to get some animals to join in. Trees were shaped into archer palaces and sniper locations. Just the planning of how to wage a large-scale battle and modifying the terrain. I perked up when Larry was asked about what he wanted to add.
I sit in the corner and figure out the best way to kill everyone.
Boy. So nothing, asked Tom.
Why should I? There's no gold in it.
Greedy little bitch. During the first half of the next session, they continued planning before finally feeling ready. The GM, having kept careful notes of their plans, and when asked, putting in his opinion. Like I said, he was a Marine and has some expertise that the rest of us didn't.
I guess I'll join you in the battle then,
Larry said, decided. Why? You haven't done anything to help set it up. You said it was stupid and a waste of time. Tom shot back angrily.
Yeah, but now you're about to fight.
So what? We gave you lots of chances to help, and you kept saying no. Tell you what, if you can say one part of the plan, we'll let you in.
You're gonna,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Keep doing what you were doing, and plot how to kill everyone. That's all you're good for. Not going to lie, I was surprised when he said that. Surprised and happy. I had spent weeks worrying about him becoming a murder hobo, and here he was yelling at one for being one. I didn't say anything, but still, Larry sat back, arms crossed, glaring at everyone. Hold that up! Hold that L, you idiot! We picked up with me arriving at the camp. Quickly, she was rushed to the infirmary. The doctors began to patch her up, cleaning her wounds and bandaging her. Soon word reached the commander. He, a few generals, and his high cleric came to visit her and find out what happened. The cleric gave enough healing for her to speak and placed her under a truth spell, just as I had feared. The GM called for a wisdom save. God, what is with me? Beaten, broken, from traveling for days with every ounce of her strength spent just holding onto the horse with an arrow in her back, she failed. After telling about the ambush, how valiantly his soldiers had fought to keep them safe despite being overwhelmed, weeping a little at their loss. She spent days with them, knew their names, knew names of their family, their songs. She did feel sadness, and that she was forced to run a gauntlet. She spoke with what pride she could that she was able to take this, to hold on to it despite everything, and gave him the map. Seeing the map, realizing what the markings meant instantly, the general who had lost his son, the right hand of the commander, demanded that he be allowed to take the army and wipe out the last of the resistance and get revenge for the death of his son. Spoken under a truth spell, and me spoken body as further evidence, the commander gave permission, deciding to stay to be with me. Though outnumbered, the forces we had managed to assemble had been able to prepare the battlefield well. The enemy soldiers didn't have any idea of what they were walking into before it was too late. The general, too struck with fresh grief and anger, neglected a comprehensive battle plan, ordering a frontal assault. The result was all but expected. What I didn't know was that Tom had taken a small group and made their way into the camp. With the map of the guard locations, and knowing the weaknesses of their armor, they were able to put up a good fight. Tom made his way to the infirmary. Inside, the commander had become aware of the noise. He stood up and went to the door, taking out a flaming sword. Nice. Flaming swords are always nice. He looked at me, still in a bed. "I'll protect you," he promised. And at this point, I passed a note to the GM. He continued from Tom's perspective. "You kick in the door. The commander stands in front of you, his armor glistening in the torchlight, which as you know increases his strength. a flaming sword in one hand, and in his other summoning a ball of light. He raised his sword, readying the blow. You hear the sound of a crack and he falls to the floor, neck broken, a look of shock on his face. Standing behind him, you see me. She is wrapped in bloody bandages, the left of her face swollen, every breath labored, causing her pain, barely able to stand. I speak up. Let's go save your family, he says. She takes one step and collapses unconscious. Bleh. Dead. The aftermath. When Mia awoke, she was back in Tom's hometown. He had arranged for her to become an honorary part of his family. Not his clan, his family. For their valor and bravery, risking their lives without promise of reward. Me and Bree were given honorifics by several of the clans and tribes at the battle. We grieved with those who had lost and celebrated with the victors, some more exuberantly than others. It's hard to cheer loudly with a broken face, or to dance with a broken leg, not to mention raise a flagon with using an arm that, had an arrow in it. Ow. I'd imagine during that time she was in a wheelchair for the moment. I imagine that's what had happened to her until she recovered. That's my headcanon. She was in a wheelchair for the party. In accordance with their beliefs, we burned the bodies of those who followed the light under a full moon. Tom's and me's cleric grandfather leading a mass and prayer that their souls find redemption and peace in death. This was done over Larry's grumbling, but Tom and I refused to let it be any other way. After all, we were sworn to the light too. Things came to a head when it came time for XP. We were given milestone levels, and the GM gave me some bonus XP.
Why does me get bonus XP? She didn't do anything.
Larry whined.
If she gets bonus XP, I want it too.
My brother in Christ, you didn't do anything! Meanwhile, this adorable motherfucker literally did everything. No, seriously, Larry didn't do shit. Me, on the other hand, she did everything. She and her adorable chicken. God rest his beautiful soul. Fuck Larry. We all hate Larry in this house. No, what me did was roleplay, which is more than I could say for you, Tom yelled back, legit yelled. You don't roleplay, you roll dice. That's not what I imagined gaming was when I listened to Critical Role, and honestly, it's kind of boring. If you don't like it, no one is forcing you to be here. All you've done is sit in the corner and complain about how saving my family was a waste of time. At least me and Bree did something. We never did see Larry after that. Tom, Bree, and I continued gaming together for 3 or 4 more months before life stuff happened and they had to move. I still keep in touch with Tom, and last I heard, he is now running his own adventure during weeknights. He and Bree are also still happily together. Edit. Just because there has been a little confusion, Michelle is pronounced Me-shell. Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess at first glance people would have thought it said Mitchell. I get it. Yeah, that was the story, y'all. Now that the RPG story is over, it's time for something a little funny. Very, very funny. Oh, this is one of my favorite Greentexts ever. The Legend of Chippo Man. Oh. Alright, y'all, let's do it. Let's read the story of Chippo Man. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, yes. Be me. Be me. Working part-time job at local chip shop, Britfag. Small town and countryside. People come from miles for this chippy. Best one in the area. Busy Saturday night shift. Really shitty evening, but need that money.png. Oh brother, trust me, I know. I get it. Working in the food business is difficult, y'all. If you work in the food business, be ready for hell. Finish taking someone's order and look up at the door. Oh shit, .gif. Literal line of autists, tards, and downies. Their carers thought it would be a nice Saturday treat. Busiest shift of the week. A crocodile line of 13 tards approached the counter. Look at co-worker, eyebrows raised. First downy approaches the counter. Put on my most winning customer service smile. Good evening, sir. How may I help you? Posh British voice overload. .mp3. Chippo! Screams Arde. Slams wallet against my tail. Hundreds of pennies come spewing out. What? Whole shop is silent apart from the odds all lined up. Look pleadingly at their minders / carers. They'll be paying with their pocket money. A perky younger one pipes up. Oh god.exe. I try to treat him like a human being, even though he is full potato.gif. The poor bastard. Let me put on some more music while I read this. There we go. This is some good music for this stream. Perfect for this story. Let's do it. What size chips would you like, sir? Small, medium, or large? Boss watching me carefully. I shit you not, Todd lifts his fucking shirt to reveal a huge, extended stomach. Big Chippo for tea! Begins slapping stomach like a bongo. Looks at his carers. They clearly don't give a shit and shrug. And look back at Tardo number 1. Oh my god. This is brilliant. I love this. I wish I could have been there to see it. Seriously, to be a fucking fly on the wall for this event. Say fuck it. Put him down for a large. Otis still rubbing his belly almost seductively. Stop it. Anything else? Okay, I can't do the British voices anymore without looking like a jackass. He turns almost in slow motion. Opens drink fridge we have in the shop. Throws out 4 rows. Cans all over the floor. Fucking Hulk mode. Spent an hour stacking this fridge. Kid grabs 1 can from the floor, slams it on the counter. It's a Dr. Pepper. Kid starts screaming, "Doctor!" I put it through the till as quick as possible. Say the price to him and hope to God he just leaves. Something like $3.50. I'll have about $3.50. Starts thrusting coins over the counter. Not just thrusting, throwing. All copper coins. MFW when he pays 2 and 1 pen. Okay, my stream disconnected again for a moment, but we're back. Where was I? Oh yeah. Spend 5 minutes getting him to pay the right amount. More incoming, my good people. Tarday sort of calmed. Look up, there's 12 all of the hungry faggots left still to deal with. This job doesn't pay me enough. I mean, yeah, it's a job in the food business. It never pays enough. Kill me, .webm. Tar 2 was a superhuman creation. Full potato face, but like 6'4" tall. I'm 6'2", and this Tardo made me feel small. He doesn't want Chippo. This monster wants pee! This tard has a thick, glass cow tard hybrid accent, and this is how he pronounces pies. What type of pie would you like, sir? I say, kind of taken aback at this. Taken aback at this new super mutant follow for looking at Scottish tart piss fetish monster fucked with the voice of Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh my god. Oh god. He deliberates. Go as fast as I can. Someone screen capped this. Never going to retell this on 4chan probably. Oh lord. Tard decides on steak and kidney pie. A little more sane than his partner in crime, or so I thought. This one, he pays in a hefty note for fucking $150 order. What? He then turns to me and says, "Are you Chippo, man?" Leans in real close. Where Chippo come from? This hilarious fucking Northern Tar chipmunk voice. I resisted the urge to say, potatoes like yourself. Oh my god, that is too good. Part of me wishes that this guy had said it at it like that. Then again, they probably would have gotten fired if they did. So I guess I don't blame them for resisting. The boss pissing himself laughing. Okay, never mind. They wouldn't have gotten fired if they said it. The queue is literally up the street. It's taking me 15 minutes to deal with 2 of them. Busiest night all month. I'm officially Chippo Man, king of tards. Every tard now refers to me as Chippo Man. Colleague pissing herself. Next kid slides up real smooth. It says, Chippo Man wants sausage. Big sausage. Kara intervenes. You don't like sausages, Davey? She says calmly. Tardrage.exe. Sausage now! Ugh. I calmly reply, just the one sausage, sir? Tard stops screaming, looks me dead in the eye and says, 5 sausage. I don't like bad lady, Chippo Man. I die a little on the inside, but send the order. We'll continue this Tard's adventure in a bit. He pays normally. It doesn't become interesting till the Chippo Man gives him his sausage. The rest of the potatoes continue ordering. Some fag tard was insisting I could do him dog. Kept barking, you do dog, woof woof! Boss actually dies laughing in the back where only I could see him. Queue of 30 or so customers now amassed behind the tards. Some impatient, some wishing they brought popcorn. I would've. One tard trips on his way to the counter. Shock MP3. Are you okay? Yes, Chippo Man. Licks the fucking floor. Just kind of stare in amazement at the potato lying on my floor, trying to give it fellatio. Wishing I could fry all these potatoes into chips. Midget tard approaches. First Greentexts store. Oh, that's my OC. Doing alright? I'd say he is. Midget tard is mute. He just points at what he wants. When I don't understand what he's pointing at, he gets physically distressed, jabbing at thin air. Pineapple fritters? Oh my god, that sounds so fucking good. Now I'm hungry. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. Yeah, I'm starving, y'all. After this stream, I gotta eat. Burger, chicken, curry sauce? Midget tard, panicky with each wrong guess. Mounts the counter. mounts the fucking counter. And have a midget tard on my counter, waving and gesticulating at the food. Find out he wants mayo. All that fucking effort for mayonnaise. Make mental note to disinfect counter. Tar takes bottle of mayo, pays, opens, drinks it like it was lemonade on a hot August day. All of my what? Continuing, and I wish I had to exaggerate, I got a 50 quid bonus in cash for dealing with them tonight. It was that bad. They better have. Like, if I had to deal with that and I didn't get a bonus, I would have quit. Get Mole Man Midget Potato off my counter. Look at his carers. 2 of them are outside having a smoke break. Left me in charge of Potato Herd. FML.exe. The next tard I like to call Potato Bro. He is pretty chill. Still a tard, but makes an effort. Tries his hardest. Bless him. He apologizes for Midget Tard. Feel a little better about the tards. Have a plan. Lean in and quietly say, "Psst, hey, you could be Chippo Man for a day if you keep your friends quiet." Hand him a chip scoop I have behind me. This was genius. Kid's eyes light up. Me, Chippo? Sure thing. Christmas came early to Potato Bro. Looks around. He spanks Midget Tard with Scoop and tells him off. You root a Chippo! Have to take Scoops off of him. Pretty worth it, to be honest. The Chippo tray never stops. Yeah, Potato Bro is based. I like him. Bless his heart. Some of the tards are easy to deal with. Fly through next 4 orders. Tard 8 or something comes along. I don't give a fuck which number, just highlighting the exceptional tards. He waddled, leans on counter. Oh god, that smell. Smells of human feces. Turns out this kid had a nappy and he messed it. Kid scratches arse under trousers. Oh god. No, honey. Hands over the 5 needed for the transaction with this hand. Bet you can't fucking guess. Of course you can. There's some shit under his fingernails. God. The stench is magnificent. Such close proximity. I look at my boss, my coworker, in shock. I let him have the food for free. Nope.exe. Kid wild outside smoking carers. Oh god, Jersey, not again. Audible through the glass. Should explain that some orders can be handed over instantly, but we cook all of our fish and batter to order, so it tastes as good as it can be. Some of these tards are waiting around for their food still, including sausage potato. Yeah, the fish sounds pretty fucking good. Next few tards come through. Difficult, but manageable. One screams and spits at me when I tell him we are all out of Savoys. One slides slowly down my cheek. White face and continue. Impressing boss, looking for raisin salary. The second from last potato monster arrives. This one is one twisted tard. Very deformed. Eyes not really in the right place. One practically on forehead. No idea what he wants. I'm sorry. No idea what he had. Sorry. Looked like the thing from the Goonies. Oh my god, I haven't seen that movie in years, but I know exactly what he's talking about. He is Irish. Think how Brad Pitt talks in Guy Ritchie's Snatch. Combine it with tard speech, combine it with looking like the deformed mess from the Goonies. What the actual fuck? Potato Bro actually understands horse jockey tard. Relays actual English to me. Okay, like, how can anyone, even a tard, understand all that? He wants Savin Haddock. Oh, well, what? Roll with it. Desperate to get them out now. It's been 30 minutes. This music fits perfectly with this story. Last tard, not last post. We got more, boys and girls. Last newcomer is dull. If I wanted to kill myself, I'd climb to the number of his chromosomes and jump to his IQ. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. Nearing the point of line 2 now. He wants a portion of chicken nuggets. Seems normal. Then he says, Chippo man. I lean in to hear this magnificent beast of all his creation. Wrap each nugger alone, Chippo. 12 nuggets. Each to be wrapped in paper. Individually. It's like I'm being trolled or something. I try to argue and he says, wrap alone, Chippo man. Don't argue with Tards. Tard pays and retreats. 5 of my finest Tards still waiting in the shop for food. Other customers gratefully run to till after a wait. Boss says to me, move over to wrapping. You started this job, you're going to finish it. Now I'm purely assigned to handing out Tard food. Potato for potatoes. He is indeed the king of Tards, the Chippo man. A hero. We love you, Chippo man. If you're watching this, we fucking love you. Continuing finale coming soon, boys and girls. Going to post a selfie in the end, so you can identify your lord, Chippo man. Our Lord and Savior. I pray to him every night before bed. Thank you for the life I've been given. Okay, enough jokes, back to it. This is the time I found out the Tards had an agenda. Oh my god. Begin finalizing the potato cannibalism. Neatly wrap it all. Even 12 nuggets individually. I take pride in it. I'm good at it. Neatly hand wrapped 7 haddock, entire arid fish, 5 sausages, you know the drill. Hand them over one by one. Most thank Chippo man. Small applause from the actual human beings in the shop. That's when it kicks off. Oh my. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked, y'all. I'm excited. I need to stress this to you. Whilst you have no reason to believe me, no reason to trust me, every single one of the events I've portrayed happened. All I did was play with the wording to make it sound better. And I agree with that. Kara's come inside to collect Tards. Jersey is in tow, still stinking. A woman drops a cigarette onto my floor, and I lose it. Why don't you pick that up, you ignorant Ugandan scrotum tickler? Do your fucking job, and let me do mine in peace. Blame her and other male carer. Tards not to blame for shitty carers putting them here. That's when it happens. Welcome back, my glorious turds. Tards look around in shock as I berate their overlords. Applause and cheers from other Britons in shop. Woman begins to babble excuses. You don't know how hard it is. Don't ease up. That's when it happens. A whole fucking haddock is thrown at the man beside her by none other than our potato friend. Bewilders as I look around. Chippo right! Screams Potato Bro. Oh god, what have I done? World War Z, Tard Edition, is reenacted in my shop. Individually wrapped nuggets, now used as Tard grenades. Sausage Bro unsheathes his mighty sausage and screams, I don't like sausage. Takes a bite, spits it at her, then uses it like a floppy sword. I'm just imagining, Dante and Virgil from Devil May Cry, but with the sausage of that sausage tard. Haddock comes out of fucking nowhere, battered and all, still hot from the fryer. Battered, followed by another. He doesn't even care where he's aiming. Tards chant, Chippo man, Chippo man, Chippo man. I sit back in amazement and wonder. The 6'4" Tard breaks down crying in a weak Scottish accent. I was tired babbling and nobody. People running for the shop. Walk the dinosaur. Police actually called, and more Tard carers called. Was gonna make this the last one, but back in business, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in business. Just as Zane says, as funny. I'm glad you think so, Justin. Thank you. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, anywho, let's continue the story. Now, where was I? Okay, here's where we left off. Other Tards are storm into shop. It's getting insane. Not America, so it can't be physical. Chippo man! Chippo man! Chippo man! Can be heard all the way down the street. 3 Ozer cars turn up and a minibus with some carers. Shop looks like a bomb went off. Batter everywhere, paper everywhere. Tards being tactically extracted. Rolled out like potatoes. Original 2 carers being taken in for questioning. MFW. Boss sends me home with 50 in cash on the spot, not 350. Got home, started writing this thread. One more post, a follow-up with my face. Not a green text, but closure. This happened in a small rural community in the south of England, may even be on the news tomorrow. Would love to see a fully edited screen cap of my time this evening. Glad you all enjoyed it as much as I did, though the actual work is fucking hell. You have no reason to believe me, but I will swear on any or mother that this is real. All I did was make it worded better, no changing of events. And here it is, our Lord and Savior, Chippo Man. All hail our Lord and Savior. All hail Chippo Man, the King of the Tards. Right now, for this next part, I'm gonna have to turn off window capture, because ED shows stuff that I cannot show on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this here. The ED page for Otherkin. Some of you might have seen my Otherkin stream a long time ago. Well, before I privated it. The reason I privated that stream was because the fact that Semi the Orc Boy was a part of it, and so was his ex-girlfriend Emily. I didn't want the shit to age poorly, and I said, out of respect for Miss Emily, I'm gonna private the stream. So it turned out she felt uncomfortable being on the stream for some reason. Like, had I known at the time that she was uncomfortable and not in the mood to be on a stream, I wouldn't have had her on there. So Emily, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry for what happened that day. Like, the stream itself was fun, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna let it age poorly. So if some of you still want to see the old stream, I'll see about. Like, if some of y'all still want to go back and see it, I'll see about re-uploading it on my Patreon. Or something, I don't know. Maybe my Patreon, someplace else. I'll think of something. I don't really know how to privately send specific private videos to other people. Anyway, let's read up on Otherkin, aka some of the biggest retards on the planet. Hindu and Buddhist religions believe in reincarnation, i.e. if you spend your time on Earth as an average police officer or behaving like a pig, you come back as a pig in the next. If you spend your life meditating, your next life will be as some energy being. But what sets Otherkin apart from this? The difference is that if you spend thousands of dollars on fantasy novels, cosmetic surgery, and knickknacks in this life, you'll end up having to be recycled instead of cremated when you die. That's kind of funny. Otherkin take it one step further into fantasy by canonizing what fictional creatures are real and what aren't, then claim to be quote-unquote real versions of fantasy beings. Despite how there are thousands of creatures from folklore and cryptozoology and cultures around the world, like the humanoid Ibu Gogo of Indonesia, which has not yet been proven to exist. Otherkin don't go for this. In the same way that all furries have their persona as either foxes, wolves, or blobs of giant penises, most Otherkin all believe they are either dragons, werewolves, elves, or boitars. Nothing else qualifies as real to Otherkin. For maximum trollage, you can also confuse them with roleplayers. Otherkin take it even further, in that not one of them is even familiar with ancient mythology, and just believes whatever distortion over the 20th century shat out. For instance, no Otherkin elves are of the original folklore variant. If you see an Otherkin saying they're an elf that was tall, thin, pointy-eared, immortal, old tree hugger, then remind them that Tolkien made that version up. I don't think very many people know about the original elves anymore. If you see an Otherkin claiming to be a fairy that wasn't a demon that terrorized people, and gave human sacrifices to, then that's the Disneyfication of original fairy myths. Yeah, the original fairies were pretty fucked up, to say the least. Like, very, very fucked up. At some point, Otherkin lost track of what's from pop culture's bastardized version of ancient mythology, and what's just made up, and thus became Otaku-kin. Otherkin's based on Sonichu and Hubbard fiction. I love that they mentioned Sonichu here. Hey, Will, thank you, Father. Some Otherkin are so desperate to be unique that they'll end up making up their own creature that no one else knows about, and therefore is uber powerful. Otherkin are compared to furries because all are into yiffing and furry porn. But while furries have a very vague sense, that they're not really their persona, Otherkin are as dedicated to their own lifestyle as Gorians. Yeah, like, it's true. Most furries obviously know that they're just as human, they're not really talking animals. But Otherkin, they genuinely believe that they are some kind of mythical creature. Like, they actually think that they're not humans, when they clearly are. It's kind of sad, actually. But at the same time, I want to bully these people so badly. Which is why I'm reading this. I am what I am. Otherkin on LiveJournal always have icons of whatever they're supposed to be. These are invariably physically attractive, if only to them. Their sex drives are usually warped by severe Asperger's syndrome, which of course excuses all poor behavior and or acts in bad faith ever, making you mean for noticing the obvious holes. You can tell that was sarcasm, right? Ugh. Without exception, Otherkin are unhappy, depressed individuals who need to escape reality for one reason or another. Many will attribute this and their inability to maintain jobs, spouses, and successful lives to their mysterious condition of chew. Jesus Christ! Ooh! Meaning that they are angelic, demonic, draconic. Oh my fucking god, I'm not reading that part. Fifth Invader Force heritage is effectively preventing them from making an effort at anything other than chatting with, adding online with other kin, reading Robert Jordan's books, playing EverQuest, or any other number of activities that will not improve their quality of life. Ooh! God, my body's just not ready today. Most are not delusional to begin with. Bullshit. But the comfort of their imagined heritage eventually manifests itself as hallucinations, phantom limbs, whatever that is, and traits, quote-unquote. Concurrent with their chosen creature, they can be seen as the unhealthy progression of an initial interest in Wicca in fantasy literature. Other kin are usually hopelessly lame, unless they are jazz artist Sun Ra. Don't know who that is, I'll look it up later. To try to change their image, other kin like Jaren Dreamsinger are trying to rename themselves to Kin to the Other. Many will claim to have MPD, multiple personality disorder, with all or most of their alters also being other kin. Which, I don't think that's how it works, but okay. I doubt the alters would be other kin. If anything, I'd argue their alters would be more normal. Many of them enjoy attacking innocent bystanders with big poles, or going equipped to kill people, in the guise that they are teaching vampire hunters a lesson. Yes, really. You can learn more about their fucked up behavior from this website, called otherkin.com, which is definitely worth a read if you want to laugh. I will read it. They are susceptible to hardcore trolling on the basis that they send an approval email the second you register your account. The admin there believes he is a vampire in human form that will later be anally violated by a vampire in dead form, which will turn him into a mega vampire in anal form, which will cause him to shit blood and eat a turd or something equally dramatic. Apparently being a vampire hunter is of particular concern to them, as it threatens their position as the most delusional retards at risk of anal violation on the planet. How other kin awaken. An awakening is when a mundane realizes that they are other kin. It can be artificially induced by Aova's awakening image here. You can tell it's pro by Comic Sans, or it can happen naturally like below. A psychological explanation behind an otherkin awakening is that they are losers, who will say and do anything to feel like they are special, to give their lives meaning. A typical otherkin will be fed up with how much he or she sucks. They have no friends, and nobody likes them. Nobody ever will. Since girls don't like them, they will either do the following. A. Become gay, or B. Become furfags, since human females would never go near them. Pardon. Being fed up with life, but too cowardly to do the world a favor and commit suicide. Jesus Christ. They take refuge in pretending that they are somebody. They begin to pretend that they live another life in another world, kind of like Christian. As a dragon, or elf, or whatever helps them feel better about themselves. Eventually, they begin to have dreams about being a dragon, being the desperate, low-life fucks that they are, desperate for any sign that their lives mean anything. They confuse these dreams with memories. After all, that is the only logical explanation, right? It is a very sad thing to witness. All attempts to cure the psychological sickness have failed, after all. It would mean that for the other kin to give up their only means of feeling special, it meant that they are human, and that they are in fact not special. Therefore, the only way to cure this sickness is to put them to sleep. A good way to do this is copy and paste this explanation in Otherkin chat room. It will cause them to confront reality, whether they like it or not. Neither three things will happen. You'll be banned, they will kill themselves, or both. How to know you are otherkin. The official way to know if you are otherkin is to keep a journal that includes what you craved, did, dreamt, felt, pills you popped, and the size, color, and consistency of all your bowel movements. Alright then. You must ask yourself all manner of questions from philosophical, religious, to questions of who you are. In other words, it's an excuse to be a self-wrapped up emo, as you wonder who you are, just like everyone else did as a teenager. That's pretty funny. If you flew in your dream, does this mean you're a cool dragon? I wish. If you got bullied by someone at school, does this mean you are a special outcast who has special powers? The accepted answer to the question, are you otherkin, is that you are whatever you think you are. No one can tell you otherwise. If one day you feel sleepy and you think that means you are a gigantic sleeping dragon, then you are. And if the next day you feel hyper, then you can be an active fox. Tack one of the following for bonus points. Wings, halo, powers, shapeshifting, languages that don't exist. Realistically, no, idiot. You're more likely to have colon cancer, or be a secret sharer, than be some kind of magical being. Unless, that is, you are reading, or better writing, Encyclopedia Dramatica, in which case you should know you're a troll. In our past lives, we used to eat these otherkin for lunch. Come to think of it, we still do. Yeah, basically. That's basically it. Otherkin hobbies. Once awakened, otherkin like to engage in a wide variety of mostly online activities. All of them can be overlapped with and being batshit insane. Attention seeking. The main reason that anyone is an otherkin is because these attention whores have never done anything with their lives. They have to think of something edgy that they can call themselves, and so they search around on Tumblr until they find the hot, new fad, otherkin. This will make everybody stare at me, they think to themselves as they begin to pull ideas out of their ass. I know, I'll say I'm a dragon! And so their attention-seeking orgy begins as they share their retardation to the rest of the world in the hopes of people stopping and staring at them as they spread their social justice bullshit. Oh lord, it's too good. So yeah, the stream is, although I didn't get to finish this thing, I think the stream's gone on long enough. And hopefully the VOD form doesn't get too fucked up. I hope you all enjoyed this if you stuck around. I have a Discord server if you wish to join us. We have fun there. I have a Teespring and a Patreon if you want to waste your money on me. All my socials will be in the description down below if you wish to follow me on them. And of course, if you really liked this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good shit. You know, with the basic YouTube jazz. Felt pretty good to do this again, some streaming. In spite of the fact that I disconnected several times, I still made it work. I love you guys dearly. I really do. And we'll see you all next time. Hopefully when I finally get all this stuff fixed. I had fun, and farewell, ladies and gentlemen.
You and I, we were meant to be. I feel it in my soul, feel it in my soul. Never separated, you and me. Broken made whole, broken made whole. The world that tries to steal our hope tries to make us numb, but our love has overcome. And you, my dear, you are my prize. When I look into your eyes, love overflow, I'm never letting go. All my life I give to you, love breakthrough, I'm never letting go. Never ceasing, our love grows, ever increasing, I won't let you go. Hearts of fire, through and through. Follow me, I'll follow you. We will pursue everything together, do. Tests and trials, love renew. Yeah, we've made it, we've always been proven true. We've always been proven true. Still the world that tries to steal our hope tries to make us numb, but our love has overcome. And you, my dear, you are my prize. When I look into your eyes, love overflow, I'm never letting go. All my life I give to you, love breakthrough, I'm never letting go. Never ceasing, our love grows, ever increasing, never letting go. All my life I give to you, love breakthrough, I'm never letting go. Never ceasing, our love grows, ever increasing, I won't let you go. We were made for each other.